traveling to do stuff. So I thought that I would stop for a second and say hello to everybody and share something that I was thinking about today that will hopefully help you as investors. And also I'll kind of give you an update on what I'm seeing as far as what to expect from the stock market this year and kind of what what you're probably gonna see this week. Now, mind you, I'm in Denver now, and I want to show you guys the view. It's a beautiful view out the window, and the city's really interesting because they don't let buildings get built too tall to obstruct the view, and it's a really nice thing to look at as I talk to you guys. So I'm gonna talk for a few minutes and just say hi to you. Do you have any books coming out yet? Yeah. I'm almost done with my next book. My next book is called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. And I wrote the book because I felt like we needed something that was going to keep us on code economically. We needed kind of a guideline, a blueprint, a template on what strong economics looks like. The reality, I don't know about other people in terms of what they say. There's lots of smart people in the world that say things. But I'm not a guy who pretends to know how to make money. I really know how to make money. I really make money for my family, not just my wife and kids, but cousins and relatives and anybody who joined our family investment club. Their income has gone up a lot because of that. And there are basic rules you can follow that will help you get rich in this country. And there are basic rules you can follow that will make sure that you stay poor. Unfortunately, in the black community, a lot of our habits and culture that we're trained on is designed to keep us poor. Now, what's the drop date of the book? It's like art. It'll be ready when it's ready, but I'm assuming I can have it ready by the All Black National Convention. The All Black National Convention's in Charlotte, North Carolina, October 28th through the 31st. The link is in the bio. I hope you'll join us. It's literally where all the B1 people from around the world gather, and we do panels and discussions and meetings and book clubs and play spades and teach each other and learn stocks and learn crypto and all kinds of stuff. So it's really a lot of fun. So anyway, let me share my thought today, and then I'll definitely answer some of your questions. And I have a few minutes. I got to go see my daughter in a few minutes. Where she's invited me over for dinner, so I want to not be late. But I wanted to talk to you all. You're my family too. Those of you that ride with me, I appreciate you very much. So here's what I was thinking. Right. This stock market that you have right now is not an easy market to navigate. It's not like 2020. 2020, you could throw a dart in any direction and you were going to make money because everything was making money. Everything was going up. And real estate was going up. Everything was going up. I mean, it was just raining money. And now you're dealing with a different kind of situation. You've got inflation, which was easily predictable. 2 years ago, people were predicting that inflation was going to get out of control. For whatever reason, the Federal Reserve felt the need to keep pumping up the economy, which I just will never understand why they did that. I really don't. But anyway, now you got this inflation issue. And just like a balloon, when something inflates, it's going to have to deflate. You need some deflation to get rid of your inflation. And also your economy is slowing down. Today, what happened with the stock market was you saw a jump early in the morning because Goldman Sachs came out and said, hooray, the numbers are good. And they said, oh, the banking sector is strong. That means the economy is going to roar back. And then by the afternoon, another report came out where Apple said that they're going to slow down their hiring because they anticipate an economic slowdown. And that's what led to the market ending on a negative note as opposed to a positive note. So your market is schizophrenic. You're dealing with a volatile, crazy stock market where all the experts have different opinions. And I'm telling you, there are people that on every end of the spectrum. So because nobody really knows exactly what's going on. So here's what I was thinking about. This is not a good market to be in if you cannot keep your cool. This is not a good market to be in if you're not a long-term investor or just solid and sturdy and consistent with your investing strategy. If you can't be consistent, then you're going to find yourself in the middle of a lot of emotional ups and downs. And it reminds me of actually two things it reminded me of is one is playing poker. I'm a good poker player. I play poker a lot, and I don't gamble, but I don't like gambling. Gambling's not fun, but I like poker. And I'm good. I've won some big tournaments and stuff like that. And the biggest thing I had to learn in poker was to stay cool. Like, don't overreact, don't freak out, just be cool. And I think about that in terms of just even dealing with the craziness on the internet. Like, I never know which day somebody's going to decide that they want to get some clout by throwing my name in a video and making up salacious allegations like Dr. Boyce is funded by the Jews and he's he's really a Nazi and he kills black people on the weekends. Like, people would just make things up. And it's like, okay, just stay cool. You ain't got to deal with that. Just be consistent. Keep doing what you're doing. That's it. Other thing it reminds me of is being married. Like, being married, it's like, what I notice about people that can stay married is they don't overreact to short-term volatility. You might have a big argument, a big fight, and people that are immature, that have never been in a long-term relationship, they start thinking it's over. Oh, I'm leaving. I'm breaking up with you. I'm getting divorced next week. I'm out of here. I'm gone. And you literally just have a one-day argument that would have gone away if you had just stayed cool and like walked away, and just said, okay, you know what? How about we come back and we talk about this later when cooler heads have prevailed and we're cool. And this is just advice for anybody, man. I'm telling you, if you've never really seen like two people get along over like a 20-year period, then you might want to learn from those people and just don't overreact. Don't freak out. It's not the end of the world. So what's my point? Catastrophic thinking doesn't tend to work for investing, period. I'm talking about catastrophic thinking where you think everything's the end of the world and you're always changing course, you're always freaking out. That doesn't work when you're talking about investing for your wealth. It doesn't work when you talk about investing in, say, your health in sports or whatever. You run a marathon, you got to stay cool and keep going even if you're feeling the pain. It doesn't work well for investing in your relationships. If you want to do anything significant financially or otherwise, you've got to know how to just stay the course and ignore the stuff that's happening around you. So for this stock market, what I would say to you is, it's interesting. I realized today that the same temperament that gets me through bullshit that might happen in my marriage, because believe me, ain't no marriage perfect. If people who pretend like their marriage is perfect, they lying. Marriage can be tough. Sometimes you're on the different pages and you're just going in this freaking circle of like, I tomato, 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 right? So I learned that. I figured out, like, okay, just relax. Like, let her get it out, or just walk away for a little bit. Or just stay cool and it's going to be okay. Give it a day or two. It's going to be fine. So I found I use the same skill to manage my marriage and family that I do to manage my investments. And also to manage even, like when I was running, I had to learn patience with running. Or when I play poker, you have to be very patient. You can't overreact to what just happened to you. So with this market, that's what's required. You've got to be a long-term investor. And if you're not a long-term investor, then you're probably going to have a lot of chaos in your life because this stock market is very temperamental. So anyway, that's my thought for today that I wanted to share. Some of y'all had questions, and I would answer. I wouldn't ignore you, but you know me, I talk too much anyway. And when I get off my train of thought, I go into all different kinds of directions. So why don't you put a question in here? If you have one, I'll answer a couple of your questions before I go see my daughter. And just a reminder, if you live in Atlanta, my wife is doing a speed dating event on the 22nd of July next week. So you can click the link in the bio to go to that. Also, I'm going to actually be racing NASCAR drivers in Philadelphia this week, believe it or not. It's a celebrity. I'm not no real celebrity. Few people know me, but I'm not. But anyway, I'll be racing with these politicians and NASCAR drivers and celebrities and stuff in Philly at the Urban Youth Racing School. They bought the whole section of the city to build a big track. So we're literally going to be racing. Like, I'm not going to beat the NASCAR guys. I think Kyle Larson will be there. He's like the fastest guy in all of NASCAR or something. So anyway, I'll be doing that this week. You could actually come out if you live in Philly. It's July 22nd also. And then what else is going on? July 29th, I'll be in Detroit. That's when we're doing the Black Wealth Builders Summit. Herb Strather is going to run that with Gary Shelton. And these guys have done billions of dollars worth of real estate deals. I consider them to be real assets to the community and allies because they understand how messed up it is that cities like Detroit are majority black, but almost everything is owned by other people. like one white guy, Dan Gilbert, who owned the Cavaliers. He's the guy who wrote that runaway slave letter to LeBron back in the day. I don't know if y'all remember that. He owns a big chunk of Detroit. And then the Arabs own all the gas stations, and they just kind of see a problem with that, which I do too. So Dr. Claude Anderson will be there as well, and then Herb Strather and Gary Shelton. Just two guys that just know how to make deals, know how to get things done. They're going to be there, and I respect these guys a lot. So anyway, a couple questions. What do you think of the two girls who were intentionally ignored? You talk about the Sesame Street thing. I think it's just terrible to do that to a kid. You know, I mean, I of course, you know, it should be black owned. We should have our own everything, right? We shouldn't be begging white people for their approval. But I mean, come on, man. It's a 4-year-old. Like that just broke my heart. I don't know about y'all, but that made me sad. I just sat and watched those little kids reaching out. I mean, when I was 4, that would have traumatized me. You know, it just, oh man, I'm furious. I want to find that guy, take that suit off, and whoop his ass. That's how I feel. Like literally, if somebody would just rip that suit off and beat him into the ground, I would not call the police. Should we have invested in gas and petroleum before the price went up? Yeah, but you never really know what, you know, Darren, you don't know what the market's going to do. You know, I mean, everything's hindsight. You know, I mean, I would have put all my money in Apple and Nike 20 years ago and Amazon, and I would have made a ton of money, right? But you know, you don't know what you don't know, right? Let's see. Should we have invested in wood building materials before the price went up? Same answer. What are the top 5 or 10 stocks to invest in? I would say top. I mean, I'll give you a couple that I like. I think the stock I liked recently, I like Roblox for the metaverse investing. And then I think my stock of the week this week was Bill.com, BILL.com. I bought some shares of that. If you join the stock market class, I give my students, whenever I think of stocks that I like and that I buy, I share that with them. That's like a benefit that you get from being in the class. So you can click the link in the bio if you want to try it out. It's really good and very effective. Commodities have been underinvested in for over a decade. Commodity bull market isn't over. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. What's up, Dr. Montgomery, Jamar Montgomery? I saw your video earlier about Roe versus Wade. It's very interesting. Doc is a super smart guy. He's a very cool guy. I hope you guys will follow him. Let's see here. Hey, Sylvester, how are you? I missed that. I have to Google it. Andrew Tate is the second coming of Jesus. Andrew Tate. Are you talking about that stupid guy who says that fathers don't matter and stuff? He seems weird. He doesn't seem that smart to me, but you know. But then again, to each his own. It's totally okay. Let's see. Be patient with crypto. Also, yes, I would be, but not for all the cryptos. You got your cryptos that really get support. You know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe some of the other good ones, Cardano and stuff like that. But then you got your crappy crypto. You got your crapto. So invest in your crypto, not your crapto. But don't put all your money in crypto, because crypto is going to be heavily regulated, and it's going to significantly impact the price. But it's going to make, I believe, if they do it right, the regulations correctly, it can make the investing landscape a little bit clearer. Google, yeah, I think Google's a good long-term investment. What is considered long-term investing? I would say at least 3 to 5 years. Let's see here. What are your thoughts about Edward Jones Investment Company? I don't use Edward Jones, so I don't know much about them. Sorry about that. Let's see. AMD. I like AMD. My wife made a bunch of money on AMD. And let me tell you how my wife made her money on AMD. This is going to make you laugh. Then I'm going to show you this. I got to go see my daughter. She bought AMD because our son told her that it was a good investment. And that was like in 2019. Well, she lost her password, got locked out of her Robinhood account, but she had bought this AMD. And because she didn't mess with it and she didn't check it, AMD had like almost, I don't know if it tripled or gone, I think it doubled in value during that time. And they showed that she had 186% gain in her AMD stock. So the thing about stocks that's really important is don't mess with it. Don't keep messing with it. It's like a sore on your arm. Don't keep playing with it. Don't keep poking at it. It'll heal on its own. Or if you plant a seed, you got to let it grow. You know, like, so when you do things like the $5 a day investing plan for your kids, that is a plan where your children will be wealthy if you invest like a minimum of $5 a day or $35 a week or $140 a month. That's less than a car note. You can't even get a good car for $140 a month. I hope your child is worth more than your car note. If they're not, then we got to have another conversation. But literally, when you buy those stocks, don't sell them. Don't touch them. Don't mess with them. Don't move them around. Don't just buy it. and walk away. That's it. Can I tag Doc Montgomery? I don't know how to tag him from where I'm at right now because I don't think he's in the chat anymore. But you can look him up. Just look up Jamar Doc Montgomery or Dr. Jamar Montgomery. He's a good guy, and we've done partnerships with him in the Black Business School. All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. Linda, I like marijuana stocks a lot. I don't like any particular one. I just buy about 7 or 8 of them and just wait for Joe Biden to leave office so Kamala Harris can take over and she can legalize weed and the stock price to go up. That's my prediction. All right. I'm out of here. Have a good day, everybody. Thank y'all for listening, and